Hello and welcome to round 7 of the 2025 AMS2 Community Cup. Today we are racing Lamborghini Super Trofeos at Road Atlanta, and I thought we would try something new today and go live on time. I know it's a crazy concept, but that does mean we are still in free practice. Simply due to the fact that the server gets started up half an hour before the stream is scheduled, and then it takes a moment for the lobby to get started and all that. And then we always end up with practice running a little longer than planned. So I thought we could spend this time in practice going through all the liveries, so we don't use quali to do that, or at least some of them. So I will, just like last time I was here, I will go through them in championship order. Starting from... let's start from the bottom this time, just to try something new. So first up, let us have a look at Slipstream. Who we have? There we have Bill. Lucky for him, this is practice still. Let's have a look here as he gets back on track with this nice red, white, and blue livery. He's resetting to pit lane, must have been carrying damage. This is the disadvantage of doing it in practice. We do risk people being in pit lane. Club 50 are running these polka dots on their livery, and some of these have variations on their liveries, I noticed. This is not one of them. And we have Team SRGP with Alpha Signal here, with the very kind of minimal, I think. I don't know how do I want to describe this. I'm not sure. Yellow, white, and black. Do we have another SRGP car out here? Just to see. Yes, there is some variation to be had here. This is a lot more black. Then we have the Racing Engineers. P9 in the championship. Yep. Did I skip? No, I didn't skip anyone. In their usual color scheme here, which I must say I quite do like the maximalism of their liveries, especially this one. More is more sometimes. And is this an inversion? No. This is not one with a variation, I don't think. Then we have Team RPM, who are running their usual colors too. These are the guys who nominated this combo, and we'll get into the details for the race a bit later. Let's find the other RPM car somewhere out here. Hopefully they're here by now. Or not. Maybe they've had to no, there. Just to make sure we're not missing anything. Then we have Team 10 Tenths. This very... there's this, this sounds worse or more insulting than it is, maybe, to the livery maker. This MS Paint graffiti detail down the side. It's a fun little touch. It's this, and then... okay, this is a black variant of it then, instead of white. Then we have Team NRT in P6 in the championship. Where do we have Team NRT? We have Tines here with this kind of split design. And I know there's a variation on this one because I checked in advance like a professional. Where's the other NRT car? As I said, professional. There it is. With a more blue turquoise kind of detail, or middle. Then next up in P4 in the championship, we have AMSU, and with Mr. J Turn right here, with a orange, yellow, and white scheme. Very cool as well. Let me actually get the chat up on my screen, so I can keep an eye on that. And do we have another AMSU car out here? Do we have another AMSU car out here? We do. G-Bear. With some blue in the color variation instead. Very nice. Then, in P3 in the championship, we have Team RRC, who are right here. They have a, it seems, red and green variation on the side of the livery. Can we get a camera that's a bit closer? This is rare for me to ask AMS2 for that. They're usually very close. Yeah, the red detailing here and the green. And in P2 we have Team KCSR in their usual colors here. And we have Paddy racing with them as well, unfortunately with a camera that's quite zoomed out, but it looks like a similar or identical livery. And finally we have Team MVRC in P1 in the championship with these very red and very blue liveries. Some inversion going on there too. And I think that is all the liveries we have. If you're wondering why we skipped P5, SSR has dropped out of the championship, and they're currently sitting P5. Yeah. So, speaking of the championship, we do have some action to watch there. AMSU very much looking to move into P3 with a gap of 20-odd points. What is that? That is 23 points. And a bit further down, NRT 1010s, RPM, the Racing Engineers, and SRGP are all kind of battling for P6. They're very, very close together. Between them is about the same as between AMSU and RRC. And it will effectively be P5 as SSR will not be taking part in any more rounds. And that just about wraps up our free practice session. Just waiting for everybody to finish their laps here. Well, your favorite guy, that depends. That you have 21 cars out here on track. You'll have to pick your favorite guy among them. Then I can find them for you. Do sound good, these Lambos. Right, so moving on to qualifying in just a bit. I believe I always forget. And I think in every single stream this season, I've been in doubt. I believe this is the point where the drivers get their briefing, so we may have a little bit of a delay before we start the qualifying session. So, to fill that out, I thought I would tell you a little bit about today's race. We are in the Lamborghini Huracan Super Trofeo, or Super Trofeo, if you wanna get real about it. Cars. We're at Road Atlanta. It's a pretty banging combo, if I do say so myself. Let's find someone to follow through a lap. We have Redacted going out here. And let's get this out of the way. Yep, so this is a very short qualifying. It's 5 minutes. It's private, so it'll be hard to keep up with on-track action and who is where, but we'll do our best. The tires are very sketchy when cold on these things. So there is a genuine chance that the drivers will not be getting the maximum out of it on this run here. They do take quite a while to get some temp into, and until they're warm, they... Oh no, did my game just... Okay. Until they're warm, they are quite a hassle to move around on. It's not as bad as it was on release of this car. It's definitely been revised since then, but it's still... Cold tires is definitely still a thing. So we're probably looking at the drivers who are out immediately will get about 3 laps. So maybe... I think everybody will be definitely improving their time until their very last one. Just about going wide there. While they resemble GT3s, they definitely are not GT3s, these cars. They have much less aero, much more engine grunt. They're kind of Lamborghini's equivalent of a Porsche Cup car, if that means anything to anyone. So yeah, much more straight line grunt, much less aero. Going through the roller coaster of a track here. Try and talk us through the lap. I forget. Can we see on the track map? No, we can't. Who is where? Let's try and find someone who is just starting or finishing a lap. They're probably all going to be approximately in the same place, but because everybody's going to be rushing out. Oh, there we have Paddy just about to start a lap. Let's talk through here. So it starts with this start-finish straight into a very high-speed right-hander. Really carry some speed through here. Then you go up the hill into an incredibly blind chicane, left-right kind of thing, where you have no idea where the apex is until you're at it, basically. And again, just the blind downhill here into another little swooping left, right, left, where you can really take a bunch of this curb. You can go out even wider than Paddy did here. And then you have a bit of a rest until you go to this high-speed right-hander. Very easy in my limited experience to lose the rear here once the rear tires are nice and warm. It gets a bit snappy unless you manage to dial that out in the setup. Then you have this humongous back straight, bit up and down hill, so you don't get too bored into this right-hand kink going down the hill. Just about there. And then as it goes real downhill, you've got to get on the brakes for the real proper chicane, which will be a place to watch out for moves, especially if there's someone who is strong at delivering dives. Then you go into this downhill right-hander where it's not quite flat, but you'll definitely want to have all of your courage with you. As we have some qualifying times being set, let's see where Minimus is at. He's just about to finish his second lap. So currently sitting in provisional pole with a 118.2. Let's see how it's done. 117.9. That is an improvement from Minimus, solidifying his lead. But Jake of RPM is right behind him. That is 10 hundredths separating them. That is hard to say. Cutting over this curb on the chicane, just opening up the left-hander, opening up the right-hander, getting a little off the power. It's not quite flat in these cars. Getting off the power nice and early to really get a nice exit here. Use all the curb and then some. Onto the little straight here into the high-speed right-hander. Let's see how much speed Minimus can carry through. That was very smooth. And then you have this turn, I believe number 9, where it always feels like you're either carrying too much or too little. Never quite, you never feel like you nail it. Onto the back straight, down into the chicane, hard on the brakes, giving it everything it's got, cutting this inside curb as much as you can, cutting the right, then out onto the curb. Use every bit of track you can get, then really throwing his rear. Was that flat out from Minimus? It sounded very close to it. As I am noticing in the standings, we have 3 drivers choosing not to qualify. I do wonder what that might be about. As everybody is finishing up, Grandpa Bear still on a lap that he has just started. No, he has abandoned it. So am I right in... Yeah, we have 3 drivers electing not to qualify. So, for this upcoming race, the track is going to start wet. Pretty soaked from my understanding. And then there is going to be... It's going to start with dry weather. And then it's going to probably, I believe, rain again during the race. We're looking at about 40 laps. So there's going to be plenty of pit stops and strategy here. So the strategies we're looking at, and which one will work best, will very much depend on just when the rain comes and how the track dries out. It's a bit dynamic and randomness to it, as there is. So some people may elect to start on slicks and try and survive the first couple of laps with the wet track. And then once the track dries up, they will hopefully for them gain some time. But at some point it'll start raining again and they will have to pit for wets. Or you can start on wets and try and keep them alive on the dry track until it starts raining again. They will have to come in for fuel, most likely, anyway. And then they'll have to stop for slicks later on when the rain stops. And I do believe there may be a one stop at play too, but I'm not exactly sure how that one might play out. So that's some stuff to look out for. Right. We will be watching. Just waiting for the session to proceed here. So this is definitely the time of the driver briefing. Just me being a forgetful guy. Just a little forgetful guy. That's me. Oh yeah, we cannot get into the spectator view yet, but here we're about to go. Hardcover Hobbit is legitimately my favorite name in this lobby, I think. I don't think he's been on server 1 with me before. That is a great name. We'll see if Minimus holds on to it. Who knows? We saw last time that it can quickly go wrong. Well, last time, well, it's two rounds ago since I missed the last one, but, you know. Everybody readied up except for myself, since I am not driving. Here we go. Let us get trackside. And was everyone just kind of sliding forward there? I wonder if that may have been netcode. Anyway, let's get the track map up. As we have the wet start here. Looks like everybody's getting away cleanly. As Minimus goes off track. How much will that cost him? As Jake is promoted into the lead. That is not where you want to be going off. That will cost quite a few positions. I do not know who is starting on what. Let's have a look. It looks like everybody has gotten away somewhat clean as we have side-by-side action here. Who's that? That is Gabardi and Tines? Question mark? Yes. He pressed the content button. He sure did. So we have a whole pack of Lambos flying at us here. I think we have some more side-by-side action to be found right here. We do. It's the hardcover Hobbit and someone else. Rodano, I think. Yes, I believe so. Going side-by-side through turn 9. And I did not even register who came out where. I do believe Rodano won out on this one. As we have JK. And no, that is Minimus. That is not JK. Going side by side with Bill, I think. Yes. Just 3 cars battling for it here. Minimus has really been caught up in some traffic. He's going to have to try and get by. I believe he would have been hoping to cruise ahead out front. But not this time around, as we do seem to have a battle for the lead going on. Between Dun Gizmo and Jake. There is also action to be caught further back in the field. I think we may have just missed it though. That was an awful close camera angle. Let's keep an eye on some of the battles back here. The track is labeled as soaked. So anybody on slicks will be having a rough time for the moment, I would think. As further back in the field, we have Patty and JK. I think Minimus may be trying for something here. Just looked like I saw a quick switch around of positions. Does look like Jake and Dun Gizmo are quite close going into the chicane though, and that is a place to be going for moves, but maybe not on this soaked track. Let's see how this one plays out. stay with the leaders for the moment. Just having to lift out through that right-hander. So it is not yet raining. It's just the spray that needs to be wiped off with the windscreen wiper still. Let's see here. I do think Tines is trying to get a move done. Oh, what's that? Minimus falling down the field. I just see positions shifting around. It is not the easiest thing in the world to keep up with, believe it or not. Redacted very much wanting to get by. I do wonder if Minimus has done some alternate tire strategy. It is not like him to be racing in these midfield positions. Or if he is just struggling on the wet surface, but you would think Finn had that under control, as we have Jake and Dun Dun Gizmo going side by side into the chicane. Will Dun Dun Gizmo take it? It looks like he has. Jake has been overtaken for the lead, with Dun Dun Gizmo taking it comfortably over the hill here. Will there be a response from Jake? We'll have to keep an eye out for that. Let's just see, where do we have some close gaps? We still have Redacted going at Minimus. Just having a look up the inside, enough to unsettle Minimus, who goes wide. But not enough to take the position quite yet. Just about positioning the car to stop a move from happening there. Does look like Redacted is a bit more confident through a lot of the corners here as it stands. So we have some action up ahead too. Best seats in the house at the moment. Let's have a look with Rodano and McGarry here. Will we see a move going into the chicane? We have a defense, so no move most likely. Let me get, actually, before I forget, this overlay going, so you have an idea as to, we just see the pass happen there. Impressive stuff. That is not where you expect that move to go through, but there we are. As we do have Redacted passing Minimus. It almost looked like Minimus backed out of that one. I wonder if he maybe had pushed... No, he seems to be battling some kind of issue. Is he parking up? Minimus seems to be parking up on the side of the road. What is that all about? Is he gonna get it going again? Is he retiring? What's happening here? I will hope we hear from him after the race so we can figure that out. Dun Dun Gizmo has extended his lead. With J-Turn in P2 now. Jake probably having made a mistake because that gap is growing fast. Will that cost him more positions? We do have some cars close behind. Do wonder what is happening with Minimus. He looks to still be parked. He's back moving. JK and Glenn here going at it. I think we're just at the tail end of a move from JK. He seems to be going pretty quick. The spray seems to be lessened. But is that rain I'm catching on my screen? Let's hop into the cockpit view. It does not seem like it. I just thought I saw some rain falling real fast. There's not as much spray being kicked up anymore, so there should be a bit of grip returning to... No, that is definitely rain. It is drizzling a little bit, I think. Starting to. There's definitely rain on my screen. JK really making up positions here. I wonder if he is on slicks that are starting to work. In that case, he'll be cherishing these moments until it starts raining for real. He does seem to be really making up some positions now. Keep in mind, JK did not qualify, I believe. He started at the back. Minimus has made it to pit lane. JK up into P5. He has found some grip that he didn't have earlier. He is practically flying through this field, overtaking like he's in a different class of car. Did someone give JK the Huracan GT3 instead of the Super Trofeo? Because he is zooming through the field here. The rain is falling. Those, if he is indeed on slicks, which I suspect he is, they're not gonna be lasting forever. He's just about got the conditions for them now, and will soon need wets, most likely. But for now, he is on the superior tire. He has gotten himself up into P2 effortlessly. Just keeping it alive for a couple of laps was all it took. Now, will he catch P1? There's a gap of 6 seconds ahead of him. And the track conditions may well betray him. Have a look with Linus and Tines and Daniele Gabardi. Who are all battling for P4 here. Looks like Tines has just lost a bit of ground there as the gap between JK and Dun Dun Gizmo is already below 3 seconds. JK is flying. Absolutely flying. It does look like if we jump to the cockpit view, there's a wiper on here. I'm not convinced there's actually rain hitting the screen. As Redacted has entered pit lane. Wonder if he is stopping for slicks, as now the lead belongs to JK. That was quick. It was barely a lap. His wiper is on though. I'm not seeing any rain hitting the screen, but that may just be some kind of client desync thing. But obviously he's still on the better tire. With how effortlessly he just made it up to the front of the field. Staying out for another lap. So we do have some action shaping up here. Hopping on board with McGarry. Is anybody going into pit lane? No, that looked like a dive for pit lane, but maybe just an aggressive defense. Pit entry here is a bit sketch. In that, at least in maybe not in these, but in cars with a bit more downforce, the pit entry is almost part of the racing line. The start of it, anyway. So sometimes what is just a bit of a defense may look like a dive for pit lane, as we just saw. JK has now extended his lead to almost 7 seconds. It's gonna be 7 seconds before I'm done speaking this sentence, I suspect. So rain is definitely falling now. You can see the raindrops on the cars. That looks good. So we see a move shaping up here. Who is that? Was that Tines? No, or is this someone who is not actually in this battle? It might very well be. That is the yellow car belongs to SRGP. Yeah, this is Alpha Signal, I believe. Yeah, it is. Just unlapping himself. He seems to also be on the slick tire, considering how much faster he's going. So he must have been in the pit to swap. He is going to end up with an extra stop compared to JK. In the end. Let's try and follow his progress. He does have a healthy gap to Redacted, who must have also been in for slicks. That was probably why he was in pit lane. So we have a retirement from Bill. Not sure what for, as the rain is really starting to fall now. This is torrential at this point. I do wonder if the people on wets will start to be going faster, but so far JK has opened up the lead to 20 seconds. I'm not sure how long the stops are in these cars. It's a quite long pit lane, but at this point he has saved himself quite a chunk of time for his pit stop. He'll certainly come out ahead of where he was, considering he started at the very back. So we have a side-by-side battle going into the chicane here. Who will come out on top? Will it be Tines? Will it be McGarry? I do believe it was McGarry. Will Tines have a response? Looks like he has just lost some ground for now. Appreciate it, dude. I do think I will not improvise broadcast setup for the moment. Thank you. But I would love to hear from you after the race, what has been going on. So we just do have some 3-car action here. Really starting to rain hard for the moment. As is they go, are they going side by side? Not quite. Not quite yet. You can see the spray is really back. The rain is really falling. It's heavy rain now. JK is still extending his lead. Ever so slightly. It's definitely not as quick as it was, but still opening up. Compared to Dun Dun Gizmo. Performance problems, that sucks. I did wonder why you parked up. That sucks. It's annoying to have to end with a technical issue like that. So we do have the 3 cars very close together here. There's a bit of overspeed for McGarry, but he's gonna have to back out. This is not somewhere you can go side by side at full speed. Very cautious through this turn 1 now. Yeah, JK is really going hard today, but it does look like his gap is starting to close back up. It's decreased by half a second, but of course that may just have been from a momentary mistake, but we are in the crossover somewhere. So we do see spray being kicked up and the rain is actively falling. I do wonder if we'll see JK hitting the pit lane. I think he's just coming in here. Yes, he is. So he is pitting for wet tires. Let's see where he comes out. Again, remember he started from the back. So anything better than the very last will be an improvement. So we see the pit crew work on the car. I do believe he's taking fuel as well. See, you see the guy with the fuel rig plugged in. So the gaps are going to break while he's in pit lane, but I think Dun Dun Gizmo is just passing now. So that is 1 position, 2 positions. Then we have the battling trio coming by. Which actually, it looks like there was another car behind them. That is... that is Tines. Okay, I thought we were already with Tines, but guess not. There have been a few retirements. I'm not sure if they're due to damage or tech. JK just out of pit lane in P10. Everybody's a bit out of sync. All the wet tire runners are enjoying their tires now. So they stuck out the dry running. JK up from, again, the very back to P10. So definitely great gain to be had there. The rain is really coming down. Visibility starting to be impacted for the drivers. Maybe not quite yet. We do not yet, not at the moment, have any super close battles other than this one, so this is what we shall follow. Enjoy the sound of the roaring V10 in these Lambos. Oh, going for the move here, just about. There's a bit of contact, he backs out. That's a dicey place to go for a move when it's dry. And in the rain, even more so. So I do wonder what kind of fuel we're looking at here, because these cars are thirsty from what I remember. I don't know if people are going to have to stop more than once, as JK is back in the pit lane. Is that right? Yeah, it is. Oh, as we have an SRGP car just doing a let-by, I think. That seems to have unsettled McGarry just a little bit. As we have Rodano and Jake getting close together here. And JK seems to be sat in pit lane again. Are they... No, he's on his way out. Wonder what that was all about. Can we spot if he has switched tires again or something? Did he maybe mess up his stop and not get to refuel or take the tires he wanted? Must have had some kind of issue to be back there. He's now in P15. There's a lot of spray being kicked up now. Track wetter than it's ever been. Bet these drivers are happy to have ABS at the moment in these conditions. So surely it's not a matter of JK having pitted back for slicks or something, because this track is still wet and only getting wetter. So surely there was some issue making him go back into the pit lane. Tines is joining this battle, going side by side into turn number 1, leaving plenty of room. Just about letting McGarry hold on to it. That's a lovely bit of popping from the exhaust there. The visibility is becoming real bad here. I wonder if that's a puddle right there where you just saw all that water being kicked up at once. So with JK's extra stop, he has effectively nullified his strategy call because he's been in the pit lane twice now. Whereas everyone who pitted for slicks will also have been, and the people who held onto their wets obviously will be the ones up front at the moment. So I think the only major event we have left is the rain stopping and the track starting to dry out. Speaking of JK, he is closing the gap on Redacted. And perhaps some fuel stopping. Again, I'm not sure if they need 1 or 2 fuel stops. JK trying to go round the outside, which will become the inside. There's a defense from Redacted. Very nicely done. Just parking on that apex, leaving JK nowhere to go. JK very much wanting to get by. I think he will have an opportunity here. Redacted does defend, but it is to no help as JK clears him, takes the apex, and will try to drive off into the distance. Will he succeed? Let's see. Does look like he will, and he is moving on to what will be a car who is a lap ahead. So he'll be having to unlap himself to make progress up towards Savage Paddy. Let's have a look here with T-Nez just making himself visible in the mirror of McGarry, who is still in a fight with Linus, who is still in a fight with Daniele Gabardi for P3. They're really fighting for the podium here, all 4 of these guys. Do we see a dive into turn 1? Not quite, not enough to unsettle McGarry, but he tried it. And I do respect that. Let's move a bit up the road here. Just able to see where the moves are most likely to happen. The visibility is non-existent at this point. I do think the drivers are all very focused on just surviving. Is that JK caught up in all this? No, that was another similarly colored car. Is that... Who is that? Or is it just from behind it looks that way? Oh, it is the 1010's car. Okay. Sense has been made. I forgot they had the blue variation out there. That just tells you how bad the visibility is. I can't even recognize one livery from another. As the rain keeps falling, the track keeps getting wetter. We have a move shaping up in front, not quite, just Linus making himself known. So we do have some gaps closing down behind. We have G-Bear and the hardcover Hobbit getting close to each other. We have JK catching up to the back of Savage Patty. Now, here is the thing. Savage Patty is actually mainly racing for MVRC, but on loan to KCSR today. But I do think the sportsmanship is strong enough for that not to be deliberate, but it's not a good look with what I just said. Oh, the commentator's curse. I believe I just inflicted it on Patty himself. No, I am sure that Patty is not throwing positions away for his own team. I do think he races very much for the team that he's assigned to, you know? Linus just ducking out to see where the road is, I think that was. So, JK, G-Bear, and the hardcover Hobbit are now quite close together. So JK on a bit of a recovery run after his extra pit stop. That was very well executed from him. Barely even saw it happening through all the rain. See if he can get by the hardcover Hobbit just as easily. That is true. That was very much an Antonelli Norris situation. As JK is now right on the back of the hardcover Hobbit. Just a little drift from the Hobbit there. JK with a cleaner corner exit. And I think we're seeing Patty overtaking Grandpa Bear behind. That was a 2-for-1 in turn 9. Let us have a look with the battling trio here. Just approaching the chicane. As the visibility is atrocious. We have no way of seeing what's going on at this point. It's actually even on the trackside cameras. It is hard to see, as you see through the windshield there. McGarry really wrestling the car, correcting it for all it has. JK has now caught up to the back of Uwe of Club 50. Cautious through the downhill. Just up the inside. Uwe seeming to have a few connection problems today. JK will attempt it around the outside. Okay. Uwe has backed out of it, I think. That promotes JK back into P10. Let's see what he can do from there. I think if he has to pit again, so does everybody else. So this is for final position, so to speak. Martinez is very close to McGarry. Is he gonna go for the dive? Not quite. McGarry going a bit wide, feeling the need to defend it, or braking late. I think we have... Oh, there's a car off in the grass up there. Is that... Ooh, is a spin in front of Tines. Promotes him to P5. That was Linus. Having a spin there. Who was the other car? I think that must have been... Is that redacted? Maybe? I think it was. I did not get the clearest of looks. So I was looking in 3 places at once. With... the hardcover Hobbit having caught up to Uwe Fetzer. Wanting to get by, I'm sure. See what he can make of it. Oh, that is early braking from Uwe or late braking from the Hobbit. Not entirely sure, but that does promote him up into P11. Very nicely done. As Dun Dun Gizmo is very comfortably up in front, slowly extending the gap to J-Turn in P2, but J-Turn is holding on to it. As was that Uwe repassing someone, or did he know he got passed by Savage Patty? Who is on the back of the hardcover Hobbit, or is that... No, that is not the Hobbit in front of him. That is... Is that McGarry? No, it was not. It was the SRGP car. Ah, right, yes. There it is. I was looking in the wrong place on the map. Trying to get my bearings. Or is it... No, that is J-Turn. That is who it is. It's this man right here. The Road Atlanta is not the world's longest track, so you very quickly end up with a mixed field here, especially with the different pit strategies that are playing out. It very quickly becomes difficult to keep up with who is on what lap. As we see the leader in the pit lane, so I wonder if that is just a fuel stop. Let's try and take a look. Because in that case, he will be doing 2 stops unless he's also taking slicks. See if we can figure out what's happening. See the fuel rig plugged in, I believe. Not sure about tires. Maybe we can get an idea from the chase cam. We do see them holding tires, but I don't think they've been swapped. It still wets on the car very clearly. So we have another car coming in behind. That is Uwe Fetzer. So J-Turn is now in the race lead. McGarry and Gabardi battling behind still. Does look like Linus and Tines have dropped out of that battle. Nani Rat in the pit lane as well. So where did Dun Dun Gizmo? He came out in P8. Let's see if we can have an idea of his tires, but surely the track is still too wet to even consider slicks. Look at all the spray coming up. Yeah, those are wet tires, alright? So maybe everybody is 2-stopping then? Because that was for fuel, and they will most likely be doing one for tires. Going back on slicks, I would guess. We have Dun Dun Gizmo and Rodano close together here. Side by side into the chicane. Dun Dun Gizmo taking it. Having done his stop, I believe Rodano has not done any pit stops yet. So we see everybody just entering pit lane. I wonder if J-Turn has been doing some cheeky fuel saving. Try and extend his wet tire stint. Because a lot of people are going in at this stage. We do have the field quite spread out at this stage, with pit stops happening and everybody just running their race, running their lines. Let's see if we can catch J-Turn hopping into pit lane. Surely that Lambo must be running a little dry. Ooh, as that was a racing engineer's car off behind. We do have, that is action for position, isn't it? It is. Let's follow McGarry and Gabardi. It's a battle that's been underway for a hot while. Yes, it has now gotten dark, but it does look like the rain has stopped, so the track will be drying out. I'm betting the stoppers now will be trying to take slicks along with their fuel. Is that some fuel saving we're witnessing here? I think it is. Is that Gabardi going for the pit lane? I believe it may be. As J-Turn is in, Gabardi is in. So, how much do you want to bet that J-Turn's going to come out on slicks? You see the tires being taken off there by the pit crew. It's too dark to have a real look at the tires on the car, I think. But we do see tires taken off. Let's keep an eye on this as McGarry continues another lap. Still on the wet tires. Loads of lap traffic to deal with. Ooh, that is close, but they negotiated well. Just coming up on, where is this? This is P5 for the moment that he is lapping. So the positions are well scrambled up at the moment, with all the pit strategies being played out. We have Nani Rat and the Hardcover Hobbit here, though. Those have both been in the pit lane. Would like to take a look at J-Turn once he's out of there, though. That is just about a move from the Hobbit, but Nani Rat holds on the exit, taking the momentum line outside. I think he's doing well to avoid the rubbered line. I think that is well slippery at the moment. Let's have a look at J-Turn. I want to know what kind of tires this man is on, but it is very dark. Those are still wet tires on the rear. Yeah, they are. So he may well be coming in for slicks. Still in the net lead, I would say, because McGarry has yet to come in. Surely, he will be soon. As JK is now in the pit lane. I think just about everybody has gotten this stop done. But with JK having been in before, why does he need to be in the pit now? Or did he? Was that just a mistake that it showed that? Because he's... No, I'm not sure he's been in the pit lane again. I did not catch it on the track map. Just going by the indication in the standings. We do have a few cars. What is this? This is Grandpa Bear and Savage Patty. And a car who is not involved in that battle, I would think. Dun Dun Gizmo now taking the net lead. What happened to J-Turn? Did he make a mistake, I wonder? Because that is 2 cars suddenly past him. Let's go back to G-Bear and Savage Patty. They're very close together, negotiating traffic and a battle. 2 very clean racers, these 2. Having had the pleasure of battling the both of them throughout the years. We can safely compliment them in that regard. So now we have McGarry in the pit lane, which should promote Dun Dun Gizmo to the lead. Ooh, as Grandpa Bear has a spin, just letting go on the wet track. Will he hit the wall? He will not. That is lucky for him. That gives Patty a bit of a break. We have Dun Dun Gizmo just about to pass pit lane here. And take the race lead off McGarry, surely. Or is McGarry out? McGarry is out. And the gaps are also fixed. So McGarry has managed to hold on to this lead with an aggressive fuel save. And is he on wet still? He is, so the track is not drying out as much as I thought it was. Or people don't think it'll be worth the time to switch tires for 15 minutes, perhaps. It will take a while to warm up if the track is still a bit wet. G-Bear now in the pit lane after a spin, so is Nessie. Do have Dun Dun Gizmo coming in fast behind. See if anybody's doing anything fun with tires. Just need them to drive under a light source where we can see. That was wets. What about JK? He was aggressive on the dries in the start. Did not see there. We need some trackside lighting to illuminate this. Those are still wets. Dun Dun Gizmo now goes for the move. And is he making it stick? He is in the lead. He gets the apex, but he does have traffic to negotiate in front, and that is McGarry's teammate that he has in front. Was that a bit of... Was he held up a little bit there? Or was that just not feasible to move out of the way yet? Either way, McGarry is now right on his tail. Redacted now in the pit lane. Surely someone will be going for dry tires at some point. Dun Dun Gizmo not being shown the easy way past the RPM car in front. I do not know what the rule book really will say about that. I do believe the Community Cup rules always say to move out of the way when you're a lapped car. That is not a defense, that is moving out of the way. So Dun Dun Gizmo being let by. And McGarry will now have to negotiate with his teammate. Being his teammate, surely he will make it a little easier. Yeah, he is giving it up here on the straight. So let's have a look at Redacted, fresh out of the pit lane. Is there a set of slicks in sight? Do we have a gamble? I did not see grooves there. Got some lighting there. No, those are still wets. Not a single set of slicks in sight as we jump on board with JK in P7 right behind Tines. Getting a good run here, going for the inside, but just about not making it stick. Ooh, just having a bit of a moment through the corner there, having to save the car. That cost him a bit of time. But now he is back to real close, following through the downhill. Lifting off the gas a little bit. Tires, or sorry, I mean the track's still a bit slippery. Using all the curb there is. It's a bit of a run. Is he on slicks? I did wonder if he might have gone for something. It's showing wets for me. So I guess I just cannot rely on the graphics to show me what tire people are on. Not the graphics, but, you know, the game. Oh, there's a move to be made here. He's going side by side into the chicane. Heavy on the brakes, getting the nose in front. Turning in, getting the apex. And he's made that stick. That is JK up into P6 comfortably already. Will Tines have a response? Having to lift off there at the apex. Let's jump to Jake and Redacted. Also in a bit of a fight here. Does look like Redacted has just lost a little bit of time there. I was thinking surely someone would try the slicks at this stage. Because it looks drier than it was when people were going for slicks the first time around. Have a look out there. We have Dun Dun Gizmo in the lead, looking comfortable to take this race. Magarian P2 with a healthy gap to Daniele Gabardi in P3, who will be looking out for J-turn behind him. AK does look to be closing the gap ahead a little bit to Linus. JK has had strong pace throughout this race from what I've been able to tell. Just unfortunate that he seemed to need the extra pit stop when it started to rain. Do wonder if he didn't get the tires he wanted or something like that. He is flying now in these crossover conditions. We see Linus just taking the chicane a bit deep. That allows JK to go up the inside. Will he make it stick? He will. That promotes him into P5 with a 15, 16, 17 second gap to J-turn. Will he be able to close that in 7 minutes? That's the question. Wouldn't put it past him, as we have Jake and Rodano side by side through turn number 9. Is that Redacted wanting in on the action? Jake wins out on this one. Redacted wants to go for a move on Rodano here. showing his nose, making his intent clear. We have a defense. Later on the brakes, but will it stick? It will not for this time around. Oh, he's trying it. He's trying it. Oh, that is such a dangerous place to go for a move, but it's worked out. Ooh. Yeah, I figured he would have gotten the wrong tires. It does happen. It is unfortunate that that does happen still. Though it seems to not be as often as it used to. So we are approaching 5 minutes left in this race. J-Turn seems to be dropping a lot of pace off. I wonder if he's still on wets. Because the gap is now 13 seconds to JK. But it's not JK moving closer to the leader, it is J-Turn moving further. I think. Yes, of course. Always blame, a good driver always blames everything but himself, right? That is G-Bear, his AMSU teammate behind him. Will they be swapping positions? Do you think we have Redacted and Jake in a potential battle shaping up here? Let's keep an eye out. We do have a similar situation for the podium between Gabardi and J-Turn. Oh, but Nessie and Rodano are very much in a battle. There we are. Let's have a look here. Where are we at? We are in the downhill. Ooh, just showing his nose there. Trying to unsettle the car in front. He was ice cold. See if the slipstream will help Nessie gain some overspeed here. It does look like it will, making his intent known. Just getting his nose in. Will he hold on to it? He will. There's an attempted switch back, but I think Nessie just parked it on the apex there. So we have 2.5 minutes to go. J-Turn ever so slowly reaching the back of Gabardi. They've just been getting closer and closer together over the last bunch of laps. Will we see a battle for the last podium position unfold before the end of the race? Just about a second between them. J-Turn still setting best laps. Dun Dun Gizmo on lap 40. I think he should. Does he have one more lap in him? As Gabardi goes deep. That allows J-Turn to get on the outside. Will it allow him to seal the deal? It will. That promotes J-Turn up into third position. Gabardi will be wanting that position back though. See if he goes for it here. He'll have a moment of great slipstream to get close. Looks like J-Turn just about had the better corner exit there. Not close enough to go for that move. As Dun Dun Gizmo is now on the final lap of the race. We have this battle for the last podium position happening. We also have a battle for P8. I do think we need to follow along with the battle for the podium position. Just needs to follow close down the hill here. He's doing everything he can. He will have an opportunity here. He can get alongside in time. Oh, very late on the brakes. J-Turn does go wide. But Gabardi was not sure enough to commit. Now he'll have to try and use the slipstream here on the back straight. As Dun Dun Gizmo crosses the line to take the win out on the grass. That was beautifully done. Gabardi is getting close, but it's close enough for a move. He will try it. He is on the inside. Oh, J-Turn holds on to it. He has the inside. Who comes out ahead? They are touching just a bit. J-Turn has the inside here. He's not backing off. Oh, there's big contact that sends Gabardi off the track. J-Turn takes P3. What a battle for the podium there at the end. We have any other action for final positions here? We do have these two. And Tines. Not super close, but some of the last cars on track. And we have the hardcover Hobbit. I do believe he may be the last to cross the line. Not that he is last. There he goes, just past the pit entry to take P13. Another excellent race today. All right. Let us hop over here. Yeah. What a race again today. Just as usual, some great racing in the AMS2 Community Cup. That was a Steam notification. Those are rare. Let me get rid of that. That is my Steam, not yours. Let's just take a moment here and see if we have any drivers wanting to be interviewed today. Steam notifications are so rare that I did not even think to get those turned off. Let us see here. We do have Mr. J-Turn, the man of that final battle. Shit, I ended up killing AMS2. My bad. You will have to deal with a black screen for now. I think I do not have anything ready to be shown instead. Let's get J-Turn up on stage. Hello, dude.
Hello, Jonas.
What a battle you had there at the end. That was intense.
Yeah, I mean, you got to expect him to go for a move, but I thought I had the gap. I couldn't see him on my radar, so I thought it's okay, even if he makes a move, I'll be right. Okay, and I thought I left my break into quite late as it was anyway. But impeccable driving there by Daniel. He made the move. He held his line. I managed to hold him too wide to have the apex out of the S-bends and around the final corner. Nerve-wracking indeed, but yeah, absolutely spot on driving. And I credit where it's due. He nearly made it work with a fantastic move at the end.
Yeah, that was beautiful to watch. Obviously, I just watched it from the broadcast angles, but from what I saw, that was just some good hard racing for a podium on the last lap there.
Indeed, yeah, he made a mistake. I think maybe 2 laps from the end, or maybe 1 lap from the end, or the penultimate lap. I'm not quite sure. Just in the fast S-bends, after the first corner, he just a little mistake, and I managed to capitalise. So very unfortunate for him because I was gaining, but probably not enough to get past. So yeah, great racing. But I can see Dundon's in the voice. I'd be very interested to know what strategy he did. I was out on wets at the start, keeping them working when they weren't really the optimal tyre, and then 1 stop for 75 litres and slicks towards the end. So I'd love to hear what Dundon did, because cracking win for him. 2 stops is what I can see.
Yeah, let's try and get him up here. And anyone else in the channel who wants to speak, please do use the raise hand function, because sometimes people are here just to listen. So just so I know who wants to speak, please do use the raise hand function. Hello, Dundon Gizmo, and congratulations on the race win. That was well done. Do tell me about how you executed that.
Hello, Jonas. I hope you are well. Yeah, it was a very, very tough race. I had the same strategy as Jim to start on the wets and go to the slicks, but I wasn't able to save as much fuel as he did. I think that once Jim said in the Discord mistakenly that he has 70 liters still, and when I was pitting already, so I was like, oh my god, how did he do that? It was crazy, unbelievable how he managed that. So it wasn't the optimal strategy that I wanted to execute. The rain was falling down much longer than in my practice sessions, because when I was practicing, like, the rain was stopped like 2 laps before the pit stops, and I was able to go to the slicks, but not this time. Unfortunately, I was able to recover with a pace. So very hard win, and I'm super happy to win it.
Yeah, it was very well done, mate. I will just invite Jim back up, because I do suspect he is raising his hand in response to something you said.
Yes, indeed. Dun mentioned that I called out how much fuel I had and how many laps I got left. That was to the wrong voice chat. That was meant to be to the private team chat. And it's like, oops, I've just broadcast that to the wrong. I was more concerned about it being a distraction. But I honestly thought you'd one stopped it. I've only at the end when I've seen the results, Dun, that I've seen you two stopped it. That I'm quite surprised. But completely right. The weather and when it went dry and when it went wet was rather different from all my testing. So I nearly got caught out on it as well.
That was beautiful stuff. And yeah, both of you executed some very beautiful drives there, I must say.
Thank you, Jonas. And great to have you back in the commentary booth, by the way, doing a much better job than me. Congrats on the win, Dun. I'll leave your booth and you can invite some others. But congrats on the win and cheers, Jonas, for doing the broadcast, man.
Yeah, cheers, dude. I will invite Mr. There we go. Mr. Jake of RPM. You were in battles all race long, weren't you? I feel like I was cutting to you all the time.
Yeah, it was an interesting race. I went from first down to 12th and then finished back in 8th. So definitely eventful.
Yeah, that was. I can't even. I'm trying to think of a specific thing to ask about, but I feel like it was the entire race you were just out there battling. That was very well done to finish as you did.
I think in general my race management was just poor. From practice, I'd got a strat in mind. And me and Donnie had sort of discussed, like, should we try and fuel save for the rain? And he did that, and I was like, I'm just going to go for the double pit. So I pit when I ran out of fuel, and then pit for slicks when it was dry, which was not the right strat. It was definitely slower. And then I went straight on the very last corner at one point, got front wing damage, 7 points of damage, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it was losing me 4 seconds a lap.
Oh, wow.
Which is unfortunate. And that happened about 45 minutes into the race. So I still had another 20 minutes to go before I could pit and get it fixed. So, yeah, it wasn't too bad, though. It was fun to lead a CC for the first time.
Yeah. Yeah, very well. I mean, very well done under the circumstances, even more, if you ask me. Like I said, it was an entertaining watch, if nothing else. So thank you for popping by, dude.
Yeah.
Cool. I will just I see JK is in here. I just want to, if you want to speak, please do let me know with the raise hand button. I'll just give you a second to do that before I round up, because I figured that may have been what was going on. So you executed a very good recovery drive from what I saw. I was keeping an eye on you. Is it right that you ended up with the wrong tires after your first stop?
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And congrats to Dun and the podium finishes. It looked like a fun race out there. It was a fun race. But yeah, so started on slicks. It was going really well. Managed to get up to the lead, which was great. It was right laugh coming through the field. It was really good fun. Come into the pits and it puts me back on slicks. And it's chucking it down with rain, so then had to try and survive a lap there on cold slicks, come back in, pitted again for wets, did that bit, and then back on slicks for the dry bit. So it's a bit of a race of what could have been, but it was very fun anyway. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, you were super strong on pace out there. That was obvious. So yeah, like you said, what could have been, but I think you recovered it just about as well as anyone could have. So congratulations on that regardless.
Yeah, really happy with the top 5, to be fair. After that, it was a bit of a tricky one. And overtaking actually really difficult round here. There was kind of one main place out of the S's. There was kind of like a sharp left-hander, and that was the best place to overtake, really. It was even sketchy on the brakes down the hill there. So, but no, it was fun. Yeah, and it was a good combo. So thanks to, I think, RPM for that one.
Yes, this was indeed RPM's nomination. Thank you for popping by, dude. And with that, I do believe we are rounding off the stream. Apologies for the black screen again. I ended up killing AMS2 in a panic. Thanks for popping by to everyone who watched, and I will see you next time for round 8, which I do not remember the combo for. So you will have to keep an eye out on the Discord. So thank you and good night.